Alright, welcome to week 2 in our digital learning and communication class. It's August 29th through September 3rd. Hopefully you've finished everything from last week from the 22nd through the 27th. I'll be grading the discussions soon. But anyway, we have some things to go and do this week. Under readings, you'll read a bunch of items about the state of online learning in K-12 and higher education in the United States. So you'll be learning about both of those. So you'll read sections 1 and 2 of the Keeping Pace report about online learning at K-12 level and what it's like in the US so far. And then there's an online report card infographic that kind of gives a good overview of some of the information from the Keeping Pace report. For graduate students who are in the 510 class, you'll read an online report card tracking online education in the United States. And then there's a foundational article about the 3 types of interaction, and written by Moore back in 1989. Can you believe it? He was talking about online learning even back then. Yes, this is not the young field that most people think it is. It's been around for quite a while, but he talks about 3 important types of interaction: student to teacher, student to student, and student content. And these are 3 different ways that you can, I guess, evaluate an online learning situation or experience. And I'll ask you to do that next week in an assignment, so make sure you pay attention to that article as you read it. Know what those 3 types of interaction are as we go forward. So that's the readings to start out with this week, and then there is a discussion for this week, the current state of online learning. And so you're going to be talking in your discussion about some of these readings that you have here. So you'll read some articles, those articles that I listed under readings, and then for this discussion you're going to post a statistic that you find interesting from both the K-12 world and the higher education world. You'll find K-12 statistics in the Keeping the Pace and higher ed statistics from the online report card readings. So for those who are undergraduate, you might just look at the online report card there and not the whole article. But you can find some statistics and post those, and then talk about what 2 key statistics, and then discuss the implications of these for online learning as well as your own work and position as it relates to online learning. In other words, how will or should things change in online education and in your own work and position based on the stats you posted? So is there some implication for you or for your work situation? That's kind of the discussion that we will have this week. So that's what it's all about. For this week. Not too much going on, although we are building up, remember, to some assignments for next week. So there's critically analyzing MOOCs, a discussion that you'll do next week after having been involved in a MOOC for a little while, and it might be good for you to take a look at those right now, to take a look at some MOOC courses, just to have an idea of where you can find one, and maybe pick one that you could become involved with just a little bit in order to do this discussion for next week. And so it mentions some sites, Coursera, Udacity, or edX. And you can just go to those sites and you can sign in to a course that sounds interesting to you and become involved in that now if you want to get a little bit of head start on those assignments. And then there's the distance education principles activity, which I outlined in the live session recording at the beginning of class. So you'll also complete that, but that won't be due this week. Remember, it's on September 5th through the 10th, so it's due September 10th by the end of the day. But I'm just pointing you ahead a little bit so you can see what maybe you could do as you finish up maybe with this week's activities. So this week's pretty simple. Next week you'll have a few assignments due, so just be aware of some of those things. Have a great week this week, and it'll be a great week for me. It's the 2nd week of school, so I think hopefully I can work out all the kinks from some of my courses that are face-to-face as well as online, and I'm excited to continue learning with you about online and digital learning and communication.